on the feed here. Folks, as always, we're not super technicians, so we're working on it, so you got to give us a second. So we're trying to find
We're not
feeds.
geeks.
Huh?
We're not geeks.
Wow. I don't know if I'd call somebody that. Jeez. That's pretty rough, though.
Tech geeks.
I'm just trying to find my thing here. There it is. There's the feed right there. All right, Jennifer Johnson's watching. Here we go. Are you ready, Don?
I'm ready.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. We got Jeremy Moore and Deanie in the house already. Look at that. So today we're going to talk, our discussion is going to be a little bit different. Let me tell you why. So as of Monday, because of the statewide order, there's a lot of different things are going to be different. So we can't really show houses, we can't really list houses.
No. Yes.
So today's discussion is going to be more about what you can do, because you're going to be wandering around your house for a few weeks, right?
Right. And what you can do if you decide you want to sell it in the next few, after we go through this unfortunate health issue we've got going on.
Yeah. So Jennifer Johnson wants to know if we're close to 6 feet. We tape measured it out. We actually did. So it looks a lot closer than it is. Objects are closer than they appear.
The other side of that chair is 6 feet. Other side of the chair is 6 feet.
We're pretty spread out, so we're trying to do the right things here. So, now let's talk about our first thing, building curb appeal, right? Building curb appeal. So, tell me about something you think that people could do while they're at home for the next few weeks to build curb appeal.
So when I'm out showing buyers homes, and we pull up to a house, the few things that people look at is landscaping.
Yeah.
You know, and ways to spruce that up. If it's weedy or overgrown, or it's all brown, which at this time of year a lot of it is, anyways. But it's going to be things are going to be sprucing up. So a good thing to do is have your grass cut and edged and trimmed. Put some colorful flowers in. Put some newer shrubs, small shrubs, or if you have shrubs that are already there, have them trimmed, nicely trimmed. Is a huge thing landscaping wise.
So like for me. Like I walked outside the other day, Cindy Blair's in the house, and Mark, look at that, holy smokes. There's Cotton, I could see you. Dog climbed the house too. So biggest thing for me, like I walked outside about 2 or 3 days ago and I was like, this sucks. So I have 2 box plants that are in the front. So I tore those out. I took all the old, what do you call it? The old wood chips, right? Yeah. And tore all that stuff out. So if you're gonna do it, you gotta do all that stuff too, right? So biggest things for curb appeal as far as landscape goes are cut the grass, make it nice and tight, right? Get all the wood chips, and if you're going to do any kind of landscaping project, break it up into steps and do it.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive. It's mostly muscle.
Yeah, it definitely is. So that's first thing. So let's talk about porches.
Porches, yeah. So on a brick or a block porch, make sure that you have if there's any cracks on the slab itself.
Hey, Mark.
Have the cracks filled with caulk. The mortar joints, if there's any mortar joints that are missing, make sure you tuck point those. And these are inexpensive things that you can do.
Right. So like my next project in my place is going to be, because it's blocked, the porch is blocked. So I'm going to be, I guarantee you, scraping everything down and repainting everything. Because again, curb appeal. Let me give you an example. Okay, I had a house in Trenton about 2 months ago closed. We had a bazillion showings because it looked so cool for the front. So like folks, think about this for a minute. The very first picture online that you see is going to be that front of the house. So walk out in front of your house and look and see like what needs to be done to give it that kick, right? I tell you another thing I noticed too is doors. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
Like the red door thing?
Yeah, red doors, yeah.
Like, yeah. Coach McKay, how are you? I don't know where that came from, but the red door thing is like, I've seen at least, probably the last 2 months, probably 4 or 5 times at least.
I think it really draws your eye, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Just like the yellow doors.
Because it fits almost most of your colors aside, most of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like if you had, like say you had tan side, that red's going to pop. If you have blue, like the house in Trenton had a blue, so it pops that way.
Pops it, yeah.
I mean, if you have green, it's still going to pop that way.
I mean, there's one right down the street from my neighborhood that's yellow, and it draws my eye to it every single time.
Nancy, how are you? Good to see you. So biggest, let's backpedal again. So landscaping first, right? And make it a project. I mean, you got time. You got time on your hands. So we do too. You know, go through, okay, tear everything out and start fresh. That's one, right? With some kind of flower, some kind of plants, You know what I mean? Don't
Colorful,
overdo
yeah.
it. Make it colorful. Make it look nice,
Yeah,
right?
something
And then
like
go
this.
porch. Like I was at a house on Mayfair last month, and he's gonna probably sand. It's a wood porch, so he's gonna sand it down and repaint the porch.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
That's gonna look sharp.
Yeah, that'll make a big difference.
It's gonna look
Stain it,
sharp,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, or if you got block, or if you got what do you call it, brick, right? Make sure it's tuck pointed nice. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emily Lewinsky, how are you, girl? Good to see you. So those are the first two things: landscaping and porch. And then we talk about door, like. So let me ask you, door. So do you paint any kind of door?
What do you mean by that?
Like metal door? Do you paint it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
Yes.
if it's like I've seen the dingy light blue door.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna go red.
Most
I'm gonna go
doors
with
are-
that.
Most doors are steel doors these days. So yeah, absolutely.
That's
They're
exactly
quite
what I'm
nice.
gonna go with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then last, like.
I think it depends on the colors of your house.
Okay. I mean, so what color? Like, so if you're brick, what do you go with?
Depends on the color of the brick. I mean, if it's a gray, you can go with a number of colors. But if it's a bright color like a blue or a red or a yellow, I think that really pops.
Okay. So tell me about the other part of the exterior, about building that curb appeal.
I think power washing, man. If you got a lot of vinyl siding or aluminum trim, have that power washed or clean. You can get a long handled brush with soap and rinse it off, and that makes it look nicer. It's cleaner, and one less thing that buyers look at that they have to deal with down the road.
Okay. So Johnny Bouchard, I promise you, I'm not your question. I see it. I promise we're going to get to it at some point. I promise you that, because that's definitely something we want to talk about. Miss Pat's in the house. How are you, girl? Good to see you. Folks, throw questions out. We'll try to answer them as we go through things, too. So we'll definitely do that. So another thing that you can do to get your maximum value, right, is the power of paint. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
So-
So it's one of the most inexpensive things you can do that makes a big difference in the house.
Yeah. So, folks, give me a thumbs up if you're thinking about painting over this break that we got, because I'd love to see how many folks are thinking about painting. That's another thing. So, quick question I want to answer in between, because the questions are coming. So, Linda Thornsberry says, do you have to have a bathtub, or can you have a shower? What do you think?
You can have a shower. I think bathtubs are really for babies mostly, with young kids.
Now think about this though. So, do you think that you're turning folks off as far as having young families and things like that, or no?
Possibly, yeah.
So
you have
I
to
would
think about where they're going to bathe their child.
Well, so
You're
Linda,
right
I guess here's what I want to throw back at you. If you just have a shower right now, I mean, I wouldn't put a whole bathtub in, because now you're talking a couple grand for a nice hot tub or something, right? So think of it that way. There's some things you can change, some things that you can't, right? Some things you can change, some things that you can't. So as far as tub goes, and we'll get to this in a little bit later too, big, extensive remodel stuff. I mean, unless you're using it for you, I wouldn't get into big remodel stuff.
Yeah, you have to be doing it for yourself, not for resale.
Right, because you're not that money. You're not just going to add it to the top. You already paid it out.
Yeah.
that's
So these
that.
things, it's like landscaping, the porch, minor things that don't cost a lot. You get the biggest return back. So it's a good thing to paint, clean, just those. You get the biggest buck. If you put a new kitchen in, you're not getting, and it costs you $20,000. You're not getting $20,000 more than your neighbor's house.
No,
because you have a new
absolutely not.
kitchen. So.
Absolutely not. So, Don, I just want to tell you, my sister Julie Long is piping in. So she's going to do whatever you tell her to do. So you tell her to do all kinds of stuff, because I want her to be running around.
Will do.
Jeremy Mordini asks, will I get my money back if I put an addition on my house? You're paying top dollar. You're paying top dollar to fix something, to add on to your house.
I think if you're thinking about doing something like that, is it a neighborhood you just want to be in and it doesn't matter? If not, you can find a house, a larger home, and not have to go through all that remodel and the expense.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, Jeremy, my advice back to you again is only do that if you never, ever, ever want to leave your neighbors. Like, I have a buddy who built a house, I think 2 houses down from the house that he owned. So, I mean, if you want to go that route and you love your neighbors that much, then yeah, I guess you could do that.
And there's people that do. They love
If you-
where they're at, and they'll.
And I know where you're at. You got a pretty cool neighborhood, but you guys need a bigger house. So you should call me.
That is an option. Yes.
So that's that. So, think about this.
So, what do you think are the hot colors?
Well, so colors for paint, gray is still a big deal. Like, I'm still seeing gray all over the place.
I've seen something that blue is the new color that's coming into style, or that's on the cutting edge. But we'll have to see about that. But it
You
usually
thinking?
takes a little while. Yeah, it usually takes a little while for that to take place.
I always look at it like this, and Sean made this point. I just see it in the comments here. Everybody's got different tastes. That's the truth, right? So you gotta as neutral as you can get.
Yes.
Right. But people are loving that gray. I mean, I see it all. I see kitchens. I see bathrooms. I see bedrooms.
And
Like
usually
that.
it's a light gray to where a lot of things will go with it. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
people
yeah.
want. A lot of different colors will go with light gray. So
No. So when we're
that's what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
painting too, please, 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 get rid of crazy. I go in a house. I was just in a house last week, and before they shut this thing down, and the lady went in the one bedroom, and I swear down, she did this. She stepped back like this, slowly, like the room was attacking her. Okay, because there was a crazy color in that room.
Yeah.
It was crazy, like it was bright red. I'm like, whoa. So just that stuff can scare the holy bejesus out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dawn the flower girls here, I see ya. So that's how it is. So it's definitely, I mean, get rid of crazy. If you have a room in your house that unless you plan on being there, if you plan on being there enjoying it, I would say leave it how it is if you plan on enjoying it. But if you're thinking about moving or thinking about moving down the road with that stuff, definitely go and tone things down some.
Yep. Absolutely.
Another place that I think people that don't think about painting or don't think about the possibility of painting, right,
We're keeping it really clean.
is basements.
Basements. Yep.
Like I can tell you how many basements we walk into that they may not have mold, they may not have mildewy and all that stuff. It just looks like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks like it because you haven't painted down there or washed the walls even in years.
Right.
So again, folks, we're talking about this week. We're talking about projects you can do at home because people are gonna have tons of time on their hands now because you can't really go anywhere. So we're talking about basic things you can do at the house to give yourself better value without spending big bucks.
Go back to the basement thing, though. A lot of people.
Wait, Don, let me stop for a second. My cousin Nancy says crazy is her color, which I don't think so. I've seen her house before, and crazy is not her color. She's lying. That's a lie.
Why, all neutral?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to basements. A lot of people, I just put my stuff down there. I don't hang out down there. Not everybody. A lot of people do want to do that. So the new buyer, somebody buying your house, if it's somewhere they can use as additional living space, it helps sell your house a little bit easier.
Yeah, I agree. You know what's funny is we're talking about basements, and it just made me think of this because I just had one last week that we inspected and it failed for this reason. If you have a crawl, okay, and this is just a basic idea, okay. If you have a crawl space while you're at home, while nothing's going on, okay, take a look in your crawl and make sure you don't have water. We went in this beautiful house. This guy loved this house, Oak Street in Taylor, okay? Loved it. They were all excited. It's beautiful and everything like that. Inspector came through and he says, they got a bunch of water in the crawl and the columns are shifting and stuff. So
Private inspector.
right, yeah. So, but here's his analogy that makes sense to me, okay? It is very simple. You go in your basement a lot to do your laundry or do whatever, most times. Like you're in your basement every once in a while. You're never in your crawl. So folks, if you got a crawl space, this is on the side of what you can do to build curb appeal and stuff. Go take a look at it this week or the next couple weeks.
As a matter of fact, you should check it a couple times a year at least. Keep an eye on it because there could be issues in there.
Right, and I know nobody wants to deal with issues, but if you're thinking about selling, the hidden scary point is when you go with an inspector on a house and they find water in the crawl and they go, we didn't know they had that, and then you look like a fool.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah, like you didn't know what's going on.
So Jennifer Johnson, my dear friend, wants to know if siding her garage will raise the value. What do you think?
Not a whole lot, but it'll be one less thing that's the buyers look at is that they have to deal with it down the road. So if you can just paint it, if you scrape and paint it, if you do a good job there,
Yeah, so
then it gets you through. It depends on your scenario.
right, and again, we keep going back to this main point. You got to look at cost compared to what you're going to get out of it. So you got to make that. So look at the garage. If you could throw a nice coat of paint or two on the garage and it looks sharp, great. The siding it, to see how much it's going to cost you. Get an estimate. Okay, how much is it going to cost me? Will I get that back?
You won't get that back on a garage. All it will do is make it easier to just one more positive to sell your house.
Yeah.
You're doing it for yourself more than anything. 'Cause it's
So I love our audience. So Stephanie Beavers, I coached her son in wrestling, because as she says, we moved into our house 2 years ago. One bedroom was painted a frog green. Frog green. That's good. Take down decals too. That's another thing. Don't leave decals all over the place about loving Jesus and all that. Everybody's religion is their own thing, but take stuff off the walls too. That will help you. But yeah, frog green. That's always a good one.
Okay, so let's go back to the paint. Let's go back to accent walls. What do you think about the accent walls?
So again, my go back to is as long as it's not crazy, right? If
Is
it's
it
a
worth
couple,
the effort? Is it worth the effort putting it in?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. Again, I think that your basic colors, fresh paint is going to look better than anything else.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, but you can, again, if you're doing it for your own enjoyment, man, knock yourself out, man. Paint it whatever color, swirl it around, do all kinds of splotch paint, whatever you want. But if you're doing it for resale value, you stick to basic colors.
Yes,
Right?
neutral.
Yep, neutral stuff.
Yep.
I mean, and again, fresh coats of paint. So,
Okay.
Brandon West, we're going to be talking about your city, buddy. St. Clair Shores is our city spotlight this week, so just be ready for that, buddy.
So what's the big turnoff when you walk into a house with a buyer?
So for me, it is leaky stuff. Leaky stuff is a humongous deal, right? So if you go in a bathroom and the faucet leaks, or you go in the kitchen and you lift the handle up and something leaks, that's and people notice that. People do. They notice that stuff.
You know where you typically see something leaking is the laundry tub.
Yeah.
Laundry tub has water in most of them, and they're really old, and so.
I tell you what I get a kick out of. I get a kick out of those heavy duty laundry tubs.
Cement?
Yeah,
Cement
I see
tubs?
those and I'm like, oh man, you could jump in that and they'd be with
Yeah.
a nuclear blast.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, really, it would be like a tornado. What are they? Tornado shelter type thing if you fit in it, huh?
Yeah. So Pat Antonosi, my dear friend, asked me, says, back to a tub, is it code for most cities?
Having a bathtub?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So I will tell you that Dearborn, I just ran into this a couple months ago too. Have you run into this thing with this anti-scolding faucet handle?
I have, but it's very rare. I haven't come across that in a while.
I hit one in East Dearborn not too long ago that had that. But so
What, for what?
Pat,
For the bathtub?
Yeah. So they had
Yeah.
instead of having two knobs to turn the
Yeah.
water on,
Yeah.
the anti-scalding, scalding.
Yeah.
Sorry, anti-scalding thing. But as far as I know, it's not code.
Yeah.
So Pat, as far as I know, it's not code in most cities.
Maybe that was old or something.
Yeah. So Jennifer Johnson, no wallpaper. Yeah, no wallpaper. No wallpaper. People want to just take it down.
Yeah, but it could, if it's tastefully done in a small area, sometimes it works.
When was the last time you've seen tastefully done wallpaper?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I have never. Here's what I hear every time I see
don't know.
wallpaper in the house. I walk in, they go, "Man, it's a lot of wallpaper to take this down."
You know it's going to come back.
What?
It's wallpaper.
It is not
I
going to
don't know
come
about
back.
this year, but it might. Things always come back.
Oh, you're
Old
killing.
is-
But I'll
old
tell you
is
what.
new.
You let me know when it
Old
comes
is new.
back.
Well, you'll see it.
Kathy Wilkowitz in the house. That's my girl.
Okay, so let's.
What's another turnoff in a
Clutter.
house?
Clutter. A house that's got a lot of clutter that just stuff are stacked and.
Well, so I feel like, and again, folks, we're talking. You join us late. We're talking what things you can do at this wonderful time that you're at home all the time. So that's a big thing. So right now we're talking clutter. I say this when I do a pre-listing walkthrough with people. The two things I say the most are clean and declutter.
Yes.
Clean and declutter.
And
'Cause
it costs nothing. That costs zero. It's just work.
Because what happens, here's what happens, and I tell this to young folks especially, that constantly, when you buy a home, let's say you buy a bigger home, right? You're going to find stuff to fill that up. You are. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a young couple that moved from one part of Brownstown to another in a bigger home. I guarantee by 2 years from now, they're going to be going, man, we don't have any room in this house anymore. So you find ways to accumulate stuff,
Yeah.
right? So the biggest thing you do is get rid of some of the stuff. Bill Polk is not coaching wrestling right now, but is definitely watching us. So yes. All right, so there's that. So what other things turn people off?
Smell.
Like animal
Animal
smell?
smell.
I saw
Animal
2 or
smell
3
is a big
people
thing.
already. They already said this in the comments already, that animal smell. I heard one guy one time tell me, he goes, here's a really easy piece of advice as a realtor. If you could smell it, I can't sell it. That was his advice to me. He goes, if you could smell it, I can't sell it. So animal smell is huge. But how do you figure it out? Like, if I'm in my house every day, I guarantee Shadow, I can't smell him.
Get somebody that you trust that lives out, that doesn't live in the house, to come through and ask them to be honest with you.
Yeah, hard thing to be honest in these times.
How would you do it?
That's exactly what I would do. I would be like, hey, look, tell me if my house smells funny.
And have your agent, if they're honest, they should tell you that too.
Right, absolutely. And what do you do if it does smell?
There's things to sometimes if it's cat, it could be a cat litter.
Yeah.
Dogs, wash the dog. Sometimes it's old carpeting, old rugs or something that need to be washed.
Yeah, I guess it's like you gotta do the best you can. Buyers gonna come in, and if you can minimize the smell, or at least make it seem like you're trying to minimize the smell, I think most of them will kind of let that fly.
And it depends how it does depends how
So my
smelly it is.
cousin Nancy goes, "Have me over. I'll tell you if it stinks." Yes, you will. You're very honest. I agree with that. Oh, so Bill Polk, we were just talking about leaky showers, something that you and I are both very well aware of in our dealings together. So I'll give you a shout out, Mr. Polk, about leaky showers. Oh, so any other things that turn buyers off?
It's about all I can think of. Toilets that run on.
So yeah, that's a thing. Like that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how many houses you can go into and the toilet just running. You hear it running, and it's a big turnoff to people because if you don't, some people I think they eventually just start living with it. They just used to it. It's not a big deal, and it's wasting a lot of water. And
yeah.
it's kind of
So
lazy,
hey, so let me
lazy.
throw this at you because of the times that we're in right now. Do you think you're going to start seeing an abundance of bidets in houses?
If they have the room, yes, I would think so.
I just that
I
makes me
thought
nervous.
I think it'd be a good thing to have.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just look. I know a couple of people that do. They're big advocates of bidets. I have a young lady that sold a house to Brookside, that in Dearborn Heights, that she had a bidet. I just don't know if I could use one on a more like a regular basis. My buddy Steve's got one. I don't know.
It makes a lot of sense.
That's a touchy
It
subject.
makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. You know what's another simple thing you can do, especially in a bathroom? Jennifer Johnson brought this up. Thank you for that. Is some fresh caulk. Fresh caulk.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
fresh caulk on's a good thing too. Yep. So Don, I know hopefully Brandon is still watching. Brandon West is still watching because we're going to talk about St. Clair Shores.
St. Clair Shores.
So tell us about the East Side, a little East Side flavor.
So St. Clair Shores is an interesting city, and I know you've been out there.
Yep.
It's on the water, Lake St. Clair, and there's a lot of people that boat, that live in the city
Yep.
because you're right there on the water, very close. Some of these houses are on the water, not all of them are, but some of them are, and so there's some pretty high prices there.
So I would tell you this too, though. I think that market is starting to pop more too because it's not that far from Detroit, right? I think that's a little. So you got two things. You got right on the water. You got that nautical mile, right?
Yep.
And then you got it right by the city.
And
People are looking for that rebirth city stuff.
And I think that water is a big deal. And from there you can go a lot of places. 696 is not too far from there, so you can.
I'm sorry, I got a chuckle. Bill, I see that. Nutty buyers who don't want to meet you. Yes, I see that. Did we discuss staging, Kathy? We talked about it a little bit. We talked about the biggest thing is the decluttering, right? The decluttering, that's the biggest thing. Go in every room and go, okay, how can I make this room feel a little bit bigger, right? And at the same time, get stuff decluttered. Yeah, so that's a big thing. So like I said, every pre-listing walkthrough, every other room, I'm going declutter, declutter, declutter. Yeah, so that's part of your staging thing. And put enough furniture in, you can tell what things look like. I use the example of the couple that's getting married on this summer, I hope, that he always used to measure the bed by laying down because there's no furniture in it. So you want enough furniture just to kind of know what's in the room. Yeah,
I mean, he'd lay on the floor.
He would. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Kevin, big shout out to you, buddy, for laying on the floor being a measuring stick.
All right, so let's go.
So tell me
let's go
St. Clair Shores.
Okay,
Tell me.
So currently active homes on the market, 103 homes and 22 condos. So 130.
130 houses, okay.
Something like that, 125. The lowest price is $25,000, all the way up to $2 million. Of course, it's on the water.
Yeah. 2 million on the water, sure.
Average price 167, something like 167.
So I had a client that moved from Harrison Township, which is a little further east, and they wanted to be right on the water, and they moved to a 2-bedroom right on the water. Lake St. Clair is beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's a big. I mean, like you were spending big money for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, and it's not a huge lake. So
No,
you're not getting
no.
all that big wave action, I don't think. So
Yep.
I think it's a little milder.
Yep. So what about Pennings? What do we got there?
Currently, 158 homes under contract.
So you got more homes under contract now.
Yeah.
Okay.
More than on the market. Yeah.
Okay.
And last 30 days closed 70 homes.
So what we're saying, I
30
guess,
days, that's a lot.
yeah, but think about this for a minute. So you got the most action in the stuff that's under contract, right? The most houses.
Yes,
Yeah. So,
yes.
folks, what that means is, and again, we're trying to keep this light, not get crazy about what's going on out there.
Because
But
we don't really know. We
right,
have no
but
idea what's going to happen. All we tell you
understand that the
week by
market
week.
that we're in, up until the shutdown Monday, is a great market. Like, we're just starting to kick into the spring stuff. So when this thing levels out and slows down, we're hoping that it kicks right back into that spring summer market, because that's what the
virus.
numbers are telling us.
When the virus slows down, the market will pick back up, and the demand will be there. So
Yeah, because that's what the numbers are saying.
Yeah.
Most houses we have right now in St. Clair Shores are pending, are accepting, or have accepted offers. Not the ones listed or not the ones sold. That's the biggest number.
Right.
So the market's moving. The market's
Right.
making it happen. That's good. That's real good.
and it's going to be on a pause for a little bit, but after that pause, demand's going to be there. So it's
All
gonna be
right.
good. Spring.
So St. Clair Shores, we finally got over to the east side. So all you east side people, or you people wanting to go to the east side, we're showing you some love. So the next thing I want to talk about, stuff you can do at home during this thing, is called Let's Play City Inspector. So Don, we know city inspectors, first of all, they're not inspecting very much right now. We know
Some
that's,
of them aren't at all.
yeah, we know that's kind of part of the slowdown deal.
Right.
But we want to give you some things to think about. Again, you're going to walk your house a bazillion times over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So while you're walking, put a funny hat on and play Let's Play City Inspector. Okay?
Take a pad and paper with you.
Right. So what's something a city inspector is going to look at?
First thing they see is usually they look at the cement work. Are there trip hazards? That's a really a big thing.
Yeah. So in cement too, guys, think about this. Some quickcrete to level it out real nice and easy. That's not real hard to do.
Caulking,
For,
caulk the
to
cracks.
do the test for it, I would say walk. If you're dragging your foot and you trip, yeah, probably clean that up.
Yeah, pretty easy fix.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peeling paint, they look for peeling paint. They see that sometimes. They want painted, scraped and painted.
Yes.
That's pretty easy.
That's another easy one. That's another easy one. The other ones that are
Another thing that they always is what they call vacuum breakers on the faucets, on the exterior faucets.
Okay.
So water doesn't back up into the plumbing, the interior plumbing. And they're like $5 or $6. You can get them at Aces, Home Depot. You can buy a handful of them, and well, not that you need that many. Some houses do, but
yeah.
a couple of them. Most houses need at least 2. So.
Yeah. So stuff unless you're a handy person, you want to get it done. Hired out to somebody is GFI plugs or electrical stuff like that. So most times anywhere near water, and folks, we forget this all the time. Okay, we forget all the amount of plugs that are by water. You got them in the kitchen, you got them in any bathroom, you got them in any laundry tub, and now the most cities want them in the garage too. Yeah, so you got 4 places for GFI plugs.
And around the house, anything on the outside of the house.
Yeah, so exteriors, so
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So you
And
got trip
protects it.
hazards, GFIs, peeling paint, handrails going up and down steps.
Hand railing. Yep.
So the biggest one that I get that drives me bonkers, okay, and my heating and cooling guy John Becker, quick shout out to him. This is his favorite pet peeve, is having the accordion style like dryer vent,
Yeah.
because it could be a fire hazard.
Fire
So
hazard, right.
it's got to be a hard pipe. So that's a
What
pretty
they call it rigid.
rigid pipe. Yeah, rigid pipe. So make that the easy thing. So that's
And that's
easy
not
one there.
inexpensive. That's a pretty inexpensive thing you could do yourself.
So I got a quick question from Jeremy Morandini, my good buddy. He asked me twice. He said, "How are the schools in St. Clair Shores?" Funny thing about being a realtor, we can't tell you that one. You got to look the scores up online and rate my school and all that kind of stuff. So I wish I could tell you that answer, but I can't. So that's that.
All right. So next.
Well, so here's the other thing. So we're talking about how the stay-at-home deal is happening, and some of the people, even people in our office, right? We're talking about virtual tours, and somebody asked the question: Do drone tours sell a home? Here's my rule of thumb on this thing, and it's gonna be the way that I conduct, even as this thing's going on. You have to see the house. You have to go and walk the house. Do you know how many times I have clients that say, the pictures made this look so great,
Absolutely.
and it didn't,
Yeah.
right?
No.
So we hire professional photographers and videographers and drone, people to look at houses for us and to make the thing look good because they want to get you in the doorway. But you have to go walk the house. I heard they were talking today crazy about, doing virtual tours on a house and putting an offer in that way. I won't do that. I will not. That's something I will not do.
Well, you can't do it. You can't do it.
What do you mean?
You can't be in a house.
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying the people send a phone virtual tour of their house.
I will tell you, I sold a condo just recently, as a matter of fact. FaceTime. The buyers were in Florida, asked me to go over there, and I FaceTimed through the whole house, and it.
Really?
Yeah. And
and
knew,
it closed and everything. They're all happy.
No, we're closing next month, but they knew. They own a couple in that complex, so they knew what was going on. They just wanted to see more in depth.
But they're investors, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's a difference. That's a different thing. Investors. Investors can send you out and go, hey, tell me what you think this is worth, and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But if you're buying a house, you got to be in the house. If you're buying it to live in, you want to be there. Yeah.
So Big Dave Paternoster, my buddy from St. Sebastian, asked, does a bathroom and a basement count in an appraisal? Here's what it counts for. Below grade counts for about $1,000, $2,000. That's what it counts for.
I don't even know about $2,000.
Yeah, maybe $1,000.
Yeah.
And so if you're thinking about putting one in for your own enjoyment and excitement, that's great. I mean, we don't know about the bidet part yet. We're still kind of thinking about bidets, right? But
put it in.
I just want to see people have bidets. That's all. Uh-oh, we better be quiet. Fadi's on. Fadi Glows are our good buddies on, so we better talk about the good stuff.
Hey, Fadi.
So, back to this virtual tour stuff. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of it. I know, and again, I'm going to use it for listings and stuff like that, but I just can't. If someone's going to live in that house, they got to walk it.
Yeah.
They have to walk it.
Yep.
I just feel like
virtual tours does not take that place.
Right. Like if you like it and you want to go see it when this band lifts, okay. My cousin Carolyn says you put urinals in. She put some urinals. I'll tell you a funny story. So
that's a good idea. That is a great idea.
My buddy Matt Bertazio, he used to have a man cave for football in his old basement, and he used to have a urinal, like a freaking football urinal, like an old school. That's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I don't know if that's a big selling point. Man, they got that urinal. I better get in on that house. Oh,
that's
Don.
more for cleanliness, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the bidet. I don't know what's going to happen with bidets. If you come over one day and I got the bidet in there, that we'll know.
Let's put a hose.
Oh, jeez, a hose. You're killing me. Folks, again, we want to kind of wrap this up with this. Right now, what's going on in the market is because of the shutdown on Monday, no showings, no listings. Even our MLS system has kind of locked it out for right now. So what I want you to think about is a couple of things. You're walking around your house like crazy, okay? What things can you do to improve the indoor and the exterior curb appeal if you're thinking about selling? Some of you are going to walk around your house so many times lately you're going to want to sell and get the hell out of there because it's going to drive you crazy. But the market should, when we get back through this thing, people are going to be hungry to buy. People are going to be hungry to buy. They just are. I mean, like I told, and you got to be honest with people. I had one listing that was going to pop Friday in Woodhaven, and then I had another one that was going to be in Canton last Friday, and I just told them honestly, I'm like, you'd be silly to put it out right this very moment because nobody can see it.
Yeah. I had an appointment Saturday, and she canceled because she wanted to hold off to see what happens. I won Monday, and so yeah.
It's going to
People don't know. We don't know. The unknown, we don't even know.
Right.
But we know we will get back to normal, and it'll be sooner rather than later, and we'll be ready. We'll be there for you.
And you want to be ready. That's what we're talking about, all these doing home projects and things. Find some stuff. Do some raking some leaves and putting some new landscaping in. Go in your bathtub, and like Jennifer Johnson said, Greek caulk things. There's so many little things you can do. Make a list of all the little things you want to take care of in your house.
And even if you're not thinking about selling this year, maybe in a year or two, or in 3, when you do some painting or do something to your house, it makes you feel good. And it's like having a new house again.
My buddy Brian Ambrose asked if we're 6 feet apart again. We measured, we got the tape measure from the garage and measured. So we're actually 6.2 feet apart, Mr. Ambrose. So I know you being a social studies guy can understand the importance of social distancing. We get that.
Thank you.
So, Don, anything else you want to share with the folks?
No, I think I'm good for this week.
Okay, well listen, I'm Scott.
And I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate.